Most all of us have been extolled the virtues of answering our phones. Now, I know you've all heard this before, and I do understand that for many people, especially younger generations, this is a big ask. I mean, you never know who will be on the other end of a call, and in today's age, with so many solicitors out there, you definitely don't want to put yourself in harm's way. Really, I understand. I mean, I'm the guy when an unrecognized number rings on my phone. I'm Googling it in real time, so by the third ring, I can see who owns the number and then decide if I'm going to answer or not. By the way, that falls into the relevance part of how today's consumers act and why their behavior is different than it was even a few years ago. Let me give you a personal story of just how bad agents not answering their phones is in the real estate industry. I'm at a conference a few years ago, and I meet up with a friend of a friend of a friend who happens to work at Zillow. I end up going to lunch with him and two other guys who are account managers. In making conversation, I asked the group, "What's one frustrating thing about working with agents?" A guy says, "Getting them to pick up the phone," while the others start laughing. I say, "Seriously, agents don't pick up their phones?" One of the guys tells me it's utterly ridiculous, as in 5 out of 6 agents never answer their phone. I say, that doesn't seem right at all. Agents have their phones on all day and all night. It must be because they have your number blocked, or the call blocker says solicitor and they ignore it. The guy says, "No, I could call from my cell phone and it would be the same." I say, "Well, when we get back to the conference, let's do a little experiment. I'll call random agents from my phone to see if they pick up." One guy very confidently said, "Absolutely," while the others acted a bit cocky. We go to the hotel and find an empty breakout room. Oh, and we decided to gamify the experiment. So we took a piece of paper and ripped it into pieces that were given to every person. We each wrote down a random city, a random price range, and then picked a number between 1 and 5. We folded our responses and put them in the center of the table. I opened my laptop and went to Realtor.com while I put my phone at the center of the table. I picked up the first piece of paper. Now, I don't remember exactly, so let me make this up. Let's say Kansas City, price range 300 to 400,000, and the number 3. Meaning I had to search for homes in that city in that price range and then go to the third listing from the top. From there, I scrolled down to the listing agent and their phone number. Now again, I'm on my cell phone on speaker for everyone to hear. First call, voicemail. I did not leave a message. I repeated the process. New city, new price range, different agent. Second call, voicemail. Did not leave a message. Repeated the process. Third call, voicemail. Did not leave a message. Repeated the process. Fourth call, voicemail. No message. Repeated the process. Fifth call, voicemail. No message. Repeated the process. Now, at this point, I'm thinking to myself, what the heck? What if I was a real person wanting to look at a property or had a question that only the listing agent could answer? And how does this make our industry look to the public? Meanwhile, the Zillow guys are leaning back in their chairs with smirks on their face. Then, my phone rings. It's the first agent I had called. I answer and she tells me she's returning my call. Not bad. It had only been about 7 or 8 minutes. I tell her what I'm doing and the nature of the experiment, and she's totally cool. Now, more determined than ever, I go to the 6th call. Voicemail. I do not leave a message. At this point, we are out of pieces of paper, so someone randomly picks a city, price range, and agent. I call. It rings once. And what do you know?
Hello?
The listing agent picks up. Nicest guy ever. And I explain the experiment that I'm doing. He says he's been in the business for 12 years, and he always tries to answer the phone because that is how he has gotten so many of his deals. People have told him, you actually answer your phone. Anyway, I thank this agent and turn my attention to the Zillow guys. They were right. Out of 7 random phone calls, 1 agent picked up the phone and actually talked to me. Crazy. And I would have never believed it without doing this experiment. Oh, by the way, of the other 5 agents I called, 1 called me back about an hour later, and the other 4 never responded at all. At the end of the day, I want the best for all of us. So let me ask, what is the takeaway or learning lesson here?